Ayun, thank you so much. Mhm. So this morning we will discuss on, kikita niyo ba yung screen ko? Yes? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. So this morning we are to discuss where to finish our discussions. Okay, radiobiology. So again, this subject is prerequisite to radiation protection. So next semester you will be with me on the radiation protection side. Again, that's 2 units. This is a continuation of the radiobiology. So today we are to discuss two topics. First, we have the stochastic effects of radiation, which is again a continuation of the deterministic effects of radiation. Okay, so deterministic, sabi natin, these are the effects or early effects of radiation that are produced by high radiation doses. So sabi natin, this is sometimes linear threshold or non-linear threshold. So there's a ample quantity of dose kaya makakaproduce siya ng effect. So we also have yung topic natin today, which is stochastic effects of radiation are the result of low doses delivered over a long period of time. Sometimes this is what we call the chronic exposure of radiation. So sige-sige kan ka-exposed to radiation, so later on, nagkakamay-adahin effect. So, kaya sabi nga natin, di rin maupay. No? So from these stochastic effects of radiation, naka-formulate kita in different radiation protection measures to ensure safe use of radiation. Kaya as radiologic technologists, di rin maupay nga, sige kitang sugad nga, sige la, mapa-expose la ko yan na kay dito man lain ni safe man ini kasi sige kita pag pina-expose to radiation, so later on we could. So here again we are talking about yung ginagawa natin sa radiation protection or radiobiology. So pinag-uusapan natin palagi yung dalawang words rather. So we are talking about the risk versus the benefit. Oh, may damang dito sa po natin. Okay, sorry kay may nagpapamap ako nga diha room. Okay, again, so we are talking about the risk versus the benefit. So, makuri ko na no ba? Makuri nga sige lot kita in ka-expose kay we will be dealing with the risk. Kaya nga ni in radiography, we have this radiation detection and measuring devices. Di naman to karag siguna nga para tayong magiging Captain America or ano ba, superhero nga may radiation nga ni ching, dari makakatago sa atin. So this is to measure kung talagang yung na-receive nating radiation over a monitoring period is safe or unsafe. So pwede kita advise nga pahuway lang muna with the radiation, doon ka lang muna sa area ng radiation area, ganun. So again, these are two important factors or considerations for radiation protection. So here we have, okay, for stochastic effects of radiation. So sa deterministic effects of radiation kasi we follow, di ba? We follow a sequence, di ba? Tinatawag natin acute radiation syndrome or acute radiation lethality, in which, kung halimbawa, ang radiation is talagang quaternary, no? So may kita natin ang effect, di ba? Tinatawag natin prodromal effect. But if halimbawa hindi ganun ka so maagi muna siya into a latent period. So here we can say with stochastic effects of radiation, so there are three possible effects. So we have radiation-induced malignancy. Okay, yung mga pinag-uusapan namin sa radiation therapy. That again, we are not saying that radiation is the sole, is the sole contributing factor for malignancy. So we have different cancers that arises, cancers that ang kanilang mga risk factors are associated with radiation. But here, sasabihin natin, yung mga radiation na yun were exposed talaga, pa-radiation therapy, no? Dire kayo magpa-x-ray ka, may cancer ka na agad. So another, we have genetic effects. Okay, genetic. So, halimbawa, ikaw, you are possible nga na-expose ka with radiation tas ang imo anak magkakamay adahin problema because of the exposure to radiation and lifespan shortening. Okay, so lifespan shortening, so kasi halimbawa good for good for dapat naton life, 'di ba biblical? 'Di ba biblical? Tama ba ako? 70 is the gift. Okay. Pero ano mo age kay kan ka man maraot man ning batasan kutob kala 50 charet. Kasi lifespan shortening tatawag naton. But here we'll tackle it later kasi may isang study diyan ng isang university. Nag-study sila ng lifespan shortening. That excludes batasan pa ha. Ibang factor 'yan, mga disease, ganun. Okay, so our radiation protection guides are based on stochastic effects of radiation and or linear non-threshold dose relationship. Inuulit ko So kung halimbawa kasi may ibang radtech talaga na intentionally nagpapa-expose, halimbawa yung patient is pedya, magalaw yung bata, sabi niya, sige papa-expose na lang ako but don't make it a practice, don't make it a habit kasi nga we're talking here the risk of radiation exposure. Hindi naman tayo yung pasyente. Okay lang magpa-expose tayo as radtech kung tayo yung pasyente, but nasa 10 commandments of radiation protection, hindi tayo dapat yung hawak ng patient. If there need be for the patient's assistance, so kailangan yung relatives. Kung halimbawa, isa lang yung patient, si patient lang yung nandun sa department, walang hawak na relatives, so doon magtatawag tayo ng nurse, ng IW, ng mga tawag nila sa utility, kung saan pwede silang humawak ng patient, but not radiologic technologists. Again, this is not coming from me, this is from the book. Okay. So we have stochastic effect of radiation, okay, retrospective versus prospective cohort. Actually, guys, I have checked your submitted RRL, your review of related literature, if you can still remember about that. Yung pinag-research ko kayo ng age versus radio sensitivity, sex, hindi yung 3 times a day na sex ha. Sex, male or female versus radio sensitivity. And upon checking, medyo na-disappoint. Hindi pala kayo marunong gumawa ng review of related literature kasi yung pinaggagawa niyo, pinagka-copy paste niyo lang and then pinaglalagay sa bond paper tapos sinubmit sa akin. Akala niyo naman natutuwa ako sa mga ganyan-ganyan. And ayun, hindi ako masyadong natuwa. So except for one, kasi yung nakita ko lang dito, isa lang siguro yung marunong gumawa ng review of related literature. Kasi we are opening sa research, sa thesis niyo sa third year, makakatulong yan, no? So I applaud na-appreciate ko yung ginawa ni Miss Tejero. Kala niyo si Justin. Miss Risa May Tejero. Actually, ang ganda niyang kanyang pagkagawa. Doon siya lang yung medyo natuwa ako sa mga sa ginawa niya. The rest, hindi ako masyadong natuwa. Yung ginawa niyo kasi pinagka-copy niyo lang yung nakalagay sa internet, nilagay sa bond paper. When you review a study, you need to discuss first the methodology. So paano siya na-conduct na study and then ano yung findings ng study. So out of ganito so it was found out na ganon. So to make a synthesis liwat, so you have to make contrast sa mga studies. So sabi ni Miss Adora, pangit daw si Kapate, which is tama naman minsan. Pero sabi ni Kapending, hindi, ganda naman si Kapate. Kung madilim, charot. Yun, parang nagko-contrast. So, halimbawa for synthesis you have to make or to establish similarity. Ayun. So type daw ni Kapati si Sir Jemuel according to Kapending, which sabi din na no, ni Miss Adora, type talaga niya si Sir Jemuel. Yan. So similar studies. So ganun yung paggawa ng synthesis. So yun, why I'm talking about this one, because part siya ng ating discussion, which is kasi dito to measure the late effects of radiation. Okay, so ito yung mga nabasa ko sa inyong mga pinagsasubmit na review of related studies. Yan. So epidemiologic studies, epidemia, di ba? So I know for sure with this with your medical terminology, you already defined this one. Epidemic versus pandemic, di ba? So epidemiologic studies of people exposed to radiation are difficult because okay, wala tayong absolute dose. Okay, the dose is usually not known but is presumed to be low. Yes, because generally public, we are using 1/10 of radiation worker. So again, it is presumed to be low. And the frequency of response is very low. Sino pa namang mag-aakalang may yan, may radiation, di ba? So sasabihin yan, di ba? With your documentation, hindi pa nila nalaman na may radiation or the radiation not unless like for example, tama ba ako yung Samut-Prakan? So hindi nila nalaman na may radiation until talagang nangangati, hindi ba? Talagang nanuhubag na ang mga kamot, tapos anho na lanira na talagang diri ore radiation. Di nga ni maton ma-detect kasi labi na kon masudang, di ba? Ni ragin himo. They need to to evaluate muna during the dark kunhain and maglow. Yan. So dito na found out na may pala yan, may dangay andito kanan dismantled nga kanang cobalt-60 source. So it is presumed that the frequency is very low, pero yung sa nangyari sa mga radiation incidents na pinasa ninyong mga documentation, talagang tataas ng mga radiation levels nila, no. Okay, epidemiologic studies. Dito ka sa Katarman, wala namang magsasabing may radiation diyan. Diba? Because una, the source or the dose is usually not known and it is presumed to be low, that people can tolerate about this one. The frequency of the response is also very low. Okay. So, epidemiologic studies, kasi may tinatawag tayong retrospective versus prospective cohort design. So, retrospective gani, nagbibisaya na ko, pag may gani na retrospective, so meaning that's from the past, mga nakalabay na, so gini-studyhan mo siya. Prospective, ito yung nag-assume tayo, no? So while hindi pa nag-occur pero nag-study na tayo. Yan. Sometimes kasi yan, yung tama yung mga pinagsasabi niyo sa documentation. We need to be proactive, no? Proactive. So wala pang radiation incident doon pero may na-conduct na tayong study on how to. So ito, yung mga retrospective, what we learned from the past, the Chernobyl explosion, so may nakuha tayo doon, so that retrospective versus yung bataan na hindi pa naman nagpa-function, so nagiging prospective cohort tayo, no? Okay, so to make your epidemiologic studies more detail, so papasok dito yung tatlong concept ng risk estimate. Again, pinag-uusapan natin dito guys sa risk versus the benefit. Always yan sa radiation protection. Okay, so halimbawa sa radiation protection, makita natin, or with the use of radiation, makita natin na mas mataas yung benefit, so gagamitin natin yung radiation. Diyan tayo magaling, mahilig tayong manggamit, charet. So gagamitin natin yung radiation. But kung mataas yung risk versus the benefit, we don't need to use the radiation. So, for example, sa radiation therapy, kung makita natin talaga na gagaling yung patient with the use of radiation, so gagamitin natin yung radiation as part of the treatment. Kung makita natin na halimbawa yung dose is talagang depende kay patient condition Okay, so kung halimbawa sa condition ni patient, kung magbigay pa tayo ng radiation, mas mamamatay siya, hindi natin gagamitin yung radiation. So we have the three: relative risk, excess risk, and we have the attributable risk. Ayun. So these are the three. And again, so this is part of your epidemiologic studies. So first, we have the relative risk. Okay, so these are the three. We have to establish contrast among these three, sorry. We have to establish contrast. So pag sinabi nating relative risk, so if one observes a large population for stochastic effects of radiation without having any precise knowledge of the radiation dose to which they were exposed, then the concept of relative risk is used. So the relative risk is computed. What's this one? So the relative risk is computed with, comparing the number of persons. Okay, comparing the relative, comparing the number of persons in the exposed population, showing a given stochastic effects with the number in an exposed population who show the same stochastic effect. Ang haba ng sinabi niya, no? But ito lang pala yung sinasabi niya. So relative risk is equal to observed cases versus the expected cases. So may mga value dito ni relative risk. So kailangan pag sinabi natin yung halimbawa, observed divided by expected, pag magbigay siya ng number na 1, this indicates walang risk. No risk at all. So, pag, halimbawa, observed cases divided by expected cases, yung ating magiging quotient is 1.5. So, this is an indication that the frequency of a late response is 50% higher in the irradiated population than in the non-irradiated population. So a relative risk for radiation-induced stochastic effect of particular importance observed in human population is in the range of 1 to 2. Walang unit. No, wala namang mga ano diyan, kilometer per second or what. Okay. So again, pag halimbawa, if we divide the observed cases divided by expected cases, if the quotient is 1, so this indicates no risk at all. So pag 1.5, so mataas yung risk, 50% higher in the irradiated population. If this is between 1 to 2, so doon papasok or there is the relative risk for radiation exposure. Okay. So occasionally, an investigation results in identification of a relative risk of less than 1. So this indicates that the radiation-exposed population receives some positive benefit. So halimbawa, 1 or below, so helpful yung radiation. So again, this indicates that the radiation-exposed population receives some positive benefit, which is consistent with the theory of radiation hormesis. Sinasabi natin sa radiation hormesis that, ayun, kalimutan ko na. Okay, so any amount of radiation is good, or okay, a small amount of radiation on your body is good. Diba, radiation hormesis? Okay, hindi natin pwedeng kalimutan yan. Okay, so for example, sige nga, in a study of radiation-induced leukemia, after diagnostic levels of radiation, so 227 cases were observed in 100,000 persons irradiated. So the normal incidence of leukemia in United States is 150 cases per 100,000. So on the basis of this data, what is the relative risk of radiation-induced leukemia? Okay, so I will give you 3 minutes to answer. Ang haba. 2 minutes na lang. 2 minutes to answer, then post your answer in our in-call messages in this chat para ma-check natin. Again, in a study of radiation-induced leukemia after diagnostic levels of radiation, so 227 cases were observed in 100,000 persons irradiated. So the normal incidence of leukemia in United States is 150 cases per 100,000. So on the basis of this data, what is the relative risk of radiation-induced leukemia? Okay, so let me check if, sorry. Ay, sige, later na lang, after 2 minutes. After 2 minutes na lang kay kung may nag-answer. Pag-answer ka mo, para may puan naman, para di boring it atong klase. off ko lang ta camera. Okay, so may mga nag-answer dito, parang 1, 2, 3, 4. So apat lang yung estudyante ko dito, yung iba mga walang kwenta. Joke. Okay, yung iba nagpapa-attendance sila. Okay. Tayo, wala lang wala lang mag-check yan ng attendance. Kay last meeting naman, diin ko pa ipapasok kung magpa-plus 5 ako yan. Sorry guys. I'm so sorry naman. Okay. Parang ano nasubuhi ano Tehero, Alexis. Amula to niya gina after. Okay. Sige, later na lang. Ipapaano ka na lang, oh yeah, di ka pending naghabol. Papahabol ko na lang kanimo kanimo Sir Jemuel nga mag-plus na ay dore kan iyo Sir Jemuel na ka siya kuno magpa-plus na la para iyo ano yung attendance kay waray man niya subject ta iyo this semester. Okay, but anyway, so let's answer. Very good, 1.51. So what's our interpretation on this one? Okay, so we simply divide, we simply divide, parehas man ito magiging denominator. 227 divided by 100,000 divided by 150 over 100,000. So our answer is 1.51 or 1.5. So again, our interpretation is that, our interpretation on this one is that there is high late response is higher in the irradiated population than in the non-irradiated population. So taas ang chance nga magkamay adin leukemia for these cases. Okay, kasi kitaon naton ang na-observe nga case is 227 tapos ang expected lang nga case is 150. So dako ang chance nga magkamay adahin leukemia because of this one. So risk estimate, again, we're just talking about estimation. So it is important to note that relative risk does not provide information about the absolute risk of the outcome or the magnitude of the risk. So we're talking only, or we are comparing only two groups. For this one, for the observed versus the expected. Okay, so additionally, the relative risk is only a measure of association and diri kita magko-conclude nga talagang radiation nag-cause ng radiation, ng leukemia. But we should also consider other variables or confounding variables when interpreting the relative risk. So again, what we are saying is the relative risk, if it is equal to 1, so the risk of the outcome is the same. Is the same in both the exposed and the exposed and the unexposed groups. So there is no association between the exposure and the outcome. So if the relative risk is higher than 1, so we can say that the risk of outcome is higher in the exposed group compared to the unexposed group. So kung higher than 1, again, this indicates a positive association between the exposure and the outcome, and it suggests that the exposure may be a risk for the outcome. And if the relative risk is lower than 1, so the risk of exposure is lower to the exposed group compared to unexposed group. And this indicates that a negative association or walang association between the exposure and outcome, and it suggests that exposure may be protective against outcome. So for this one, kasi higher nga siya, so we can say that the risk of outcome is higher, and this indicates a positive association of exposure and the outcome. But again, we're only talking about relative risk or risk estimate. Relative risk. So we only we do not directly associate. It's not the measure of association and does not imply. We do not say that the radiation is the ultimate cause. Ang radiation mismo ang nakapagpa-leukemia sa mga tao. Okay, may association. So naging risk factor. Yeah, risk factor yung tinatawag natin dito. Okay. Okay, so now let's come to the next one. We have the excess risk. Yun. So often when investigation of human radiation exposure reveals the induction of some stochastic effect, so the magnitude of the late effect is reflected by the excess number of cases induced. Leukemia, for instance, is known to occur spontaneously in non-irradiated population exceeds that which is expected. So then the observed cases and the expected number of would-be excess risk. Ang haba ng sinabi niya, no? But ito yung kanyang tinutumbok. So excess risk is equal to observed cases versus expected cases. So here, we need to have kung baga nagre-research ka nga ini nga part, so we need to have a control group for both relative risk and the excess risk. We need to have a control group, no? So expected versus observed, okay? So here the excess the excess cases in this instance are assumed to be radiation induced excess, So to determine the number of excess cases, one must be able to measure the observed number of cases in the irradiated population and compare this with the number that would have been expected in the basis of known population levels. Okay, so for this example, so there are 23 cases of cancer were observed in a population of 1,000 radiologists. So the incidence of general population is 0.5 per 100,000. So how many excess skin cancers were produced in the population of radiologists? Again, 23 cases of cancer were observed in the population of 1,000 radiologists. So the incidence in the population, general population, is 0.5 per 100,000. How many excess skin cancers were produced in the population of radiologists? So again, 2 minutes to answer this one, and we will rationalize this one. Off ko lang the camera. Okay, so ayun, may mga nag-answer gad man. Akala ko mga nangangaturog la 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Uy, at least may mga nag-answer damo-damo. Akala ko nangangaturog lang nga da iyo. Okay, so let's okay, very good. So our answer is 23. Tama ba? Okay. Kasi, okay, 23 cases. So that would be, diba, 23 over 1,000 minus, so the incidence is 0.5 minus 0.5 over 100,000. Gigin, rigsukan ko na PowerPoint. So this is, okay, so ano, yung ating magiging LCD dito is 1,000. 23. So 1,000 divided by 100,000, that's 0.005. Okay, 0.0 ano? Mali. 1,000, saan yung calculator ko? 1,000 divided by 100,000 is equal to 0.01 times 0.5. That is 0.005. That is 0.005. Okay, parang naging useless yung isa-subtract. So more or less 23 pa din yung ating excess risk. So ano yung indication nito? So for excess risk, okay, so this is again often used in epidemiological studies and risk assessment to quantify the additional risk attributable to a specific exposure factor. So meaning lahat ng ating mga na-observe ay pwedeng magkaroon ng skin cancer. Okay? So it provides valuable information for policymakers and public health officials, clinicians in understanding the potential impact, intervention, or risk reduction strategies, and aimed at mitigating the adverse effects associated with certain exposures. So pwede natin gumawa tayo ng isang policy dito. Okay, para ma-prevent natin yung skin cancer, so we need to reduce the technical factors. Kasi 23 na yung na-observe na cases ng cancer per 1,000. Tapos yung ini-expect natin is only 0.5 per 100,000. Mataas masyado to. So meaning, baka magkaroon sila ng skin cancer lahat. No. So ini-estimate na lang natin diyan. Again, so we are just talking about the risk estimate. Okay? So kaya we do this for us to to make, tama ba? Tama ba, naka-on ba yung microphone ko? Ayun, sorry. Kala ko naka-off yung microphone. So we do this to make policies out of this. So pwedeng sabihin natin, ayun, for us, for you to reduce the skin cancer, kailangan bawasan natin yung mga technical factor, bawasan natin yung exposure time, maglalagay tayo ng mga shielding, ganon. So yun yung importance ng risk, ng excess risk estimate. Okay, so if you have your free time, because 8:20 and I need to discuss another one, the radiation and pregnancy. Okay, so eto, solve nyo na lang to during your free time. So we have attributable risk. So if at least two different dose levels are known, then it may be possible to determine the absolute risk factor. So in contrast with the relative risk, which is dimensionless ratio, so the absolute risk consists of units of cases per population per dose. So yung attributable risk, this is a measure for understanding the contribution of specific exposure or risk factors to the occurrence of disease or adverse outcomes in the population. So when we talk about attributable risk, so to determine the absolute risk or yan, yung tawag dito minsan absolute radiation risk or tinatawag din siyang attributable risk. Parehas lang yan. So one must assume a linear dose-response relationship, and if the dose-response relationship is assumed to be non-threshold, then only one dose level is required. Okay, so what we are talking here, so isolve nyo na lang to, there are approximately 300,000 American radiologic technologists and they receive an annual effective dose of 0.5 millisievert or 50 millirem. So what is the expected number of annual deaths because of this occupational exposure? So what we're saying is that with attributable or absolute risk, so they provide valuable information for public health planning, so okay, for public health planning, intervention development, and for the risk communication. So, paprehas ang goal natin dito. Again, we're talking on the risk. So, kung talagang risky ang paggamit ng radiation, X, hindi tayo gagamit ng radiation. Kung mas mataas yung benefit versus the risk, then check, gamit tayo ng radiation. Okay. So, for the late effects or for the stochastic effects of radiation, so papasok na naman ang concept ng tatlong ito, skin, chromosomes, and the cataracts. Diba, yung mga local tissue damage, yung chromosome aberration, yan. So for the skin, okay, early radiologists to perform fluoroscopic examination without protective gloves. So yung sinasabi natin kanina, yung case ng ito. So early radiologists to perform fluoroscopic examination without protective gloves developed a well-calloused, naninigas yung skin, discolored, withered appearance of the skin of their hands and forearms. So in addition of the skin would be very tight and brittle and sometimes would severely crack or flake. Okay, so hindi ito yung sinasabi natin, no, but it looks like this one. Okay, ito, ano ito, erythematous. Okay, erythema. Radiation-induced reddening of the skin. Okay, so ganun ka pala noon, kasi nga wala silang radiation protection and hindi pa nila alam yung mga risk factors or mga risk estimates. So another thing is the chromosomes. Irradiation of blood-forming organs can produce hematologic depression as deterministic. Early deterministic response or leukemia as stochastic response. So pwedeng hematologic depression, bumababa yung number ni white blood cell, ni red blood cell, yan. That is early effect, no? For leukemia, this is a late effect of response. So chromosome damage in the circulating lymphocytes can be produced as both, okay, chromosome damage, pwede siyang early, pwedeng late. So this stochastic effects presumably occurs because of radiation damage to lymphocytic stem cells. These stem cells may not be stimulated into replication and maturation for many years. Kaya bumabawas yung ating chromosome or there is chromosome aberration. So next one is the cataract. Of course, nandito siya sa late effect. So in the 1949, the first paper reporting cataracts in cyclotron physicists appeared. So by 1960, several hundred such cases of radiation-induced cataracts had been reported. So this was particularly tragic because there were few energy physicists. So radiation-induced cataracts occur in the posterior pole of the lens. So if this is your lens, ang may problema pala is yung nasa likod. This one. So kita natin, okay, this is an example of a cataract, but again, this is just based on the internet. Hindi ko sinasabing this is radiation-induced cataract, ha? So latent periods for cataracts ranging from 5 to 30 years. Kaya di rin mo pa nga nagpapa-expose ka with the fluoroscope. Saan na ito? Di rin mo pa nga sige kan pa-expose with the fluoroscope kasi in-expect natin, okay, by 5 to 30 years, maupalaan paglutaw sa cataract. So observed in humans, and the average latent period is approximately 15 years. So high-LET radiation such as neutron, proton radiation has a high relative biologic effectiveness for the production of cataracts. So the dose-response relationship for radiation-induced cataract is medyo taasan na medyo taas. Non-linear pero threshold. So if the lens dose is high enough, in excess of approximately 10 gray or 1,000 rad, cataracts develop in nearly 100% of those who are irradiated. So the precise level of threshold dose is difficult to assess. Kasi nga, late effect siya. No? So most investigators would suggest that threshold after an acute X-ray exposure is approximately 2 gray. No? Mas taas-taas. Sa bagay, no? Sa bagay, at 100 gray, expected naman talaga nga may, at 100, at 100 rad, expected naman na may effect na sa tao, di ba? So the threshold after fractionated exposure such as that received in radiology is probably 10 gray or 1,000 rad. So occupational exposure to the lens of the eye are too low to require protective lens shields for radiologic technologists. Sabi na ko na ito ka X-ray. Alam man naka-ano ka, night vision gago. Now, di rin kita bubutang kasi again, that's too low and it is nearly impossible for a medical radiation worker to reach the threshold dose. Ini, nga 2 gray or ini nga 200 rad. Di ba? Taas na yan. Di rin na kaya diagnostic radiology ito nga dose. Okay? So radiation administered to patients who are undergoing head and neck examination by fluoroscopy or computed tomography can be significant. So pwedeng makakontribute to cataract. So in computed tomography, the lens dose can be 50 milligray or 5 rad. Medyo mubo pa man, no? As compared with this one, medyo mubo pa. In other cases, protective lens shields are not normally required. 5 rad. Okay, 200 rad man na. Okay, however, in computed tomography, it is common to modify the examination to reduce the dose to the lens of the eyes. So, pwede pakulubon mo imo pasyente, no, naka-prone si patient, instead niya nakasupine, para ang pagtama ng radiation hindi directly to the lens of the eye. Pero case-to-case basis yan, class. Hindi natin yan ginagawa for most cases. So, one-time exposure, hindi naman, again, case-to-case basis lang yan. Pag mga one-time exposure, 5 rad is not so that significant compared with what we have in the previous slide. Okay, so we have the risk of lifespan shortening. This is a consequence of occupation, disease, or various conditions. Di natin sinasabi about being exposed to radiation. Lifespan shortening talaga, pagka anak pala natin din kalibutan, may risk na talaga mas shorter ang aton life. So, adin mga risk, and these are the expected life lost. So, ayun. So, the most grievous one, ano ko din kapate, ma-react ko din siya, masugad pa ini nga, bakit panginanganak pa akong lalaki? Ano, di ba? Libro nga ni, may tinatawag na gender-based bias, derigad. So, tatagan lakitahin, mga ano ba, panwar, bakit nga ba? Ito, ma-answer mo, mas mag-ano ka pa, mas masusubo ka pa kapate. Masabtan mo. Risky ngayon maging lalaki. Ayun, again, we're not talking about radiation ha. So ito, this is a consequence of occupation, disease, or various condition. So mas risky maging lalaki kaysa maging babae. Pero at some point, liwat guys, ako talaga, I appreciate women talaga. Kaya makuri maging babae talaga kasi pag regla-regla pa lang daan. Gusto mo itong kapate, magregla-regla, manganganak ka, di ba? Makuri maging babae, uy. Kaya ako, pasalamat na la ako, babayin unla. Nababayin ko nila makura kaya ano Giancarlo pasalamat ka na gud lang nga naging lalaki ka mo kay makuri maging babae magrantera nga ni maka ano nga ni ka mag-study na nga ni ka mo radiation therapy labi na mag-study ng mga gynecologic cancers maswad ka mo nga ay pasalamat na lang ako Ginoo nga lalaki talaga ako sir nabuburod po ako hala di nag-agi wala napaisip tuloy ako kung diin umagian ko an sperm aga-aga pa. Okay. So, ayun, ano, dani, ginregla po ak, sir. Oy, kapati, kung laiton. That's what you call hematokisya, direto regla. Ano hematokisya? This is blood in the stool. Nagdudugo na ang imo uro, direto regla. Bangin, bangin. Okay. So, ito yung risk na no, ng pagiging lalaki. Ba't na-emphasize ko ito? Okay, risk. Being male rather than female. So, an aton life, mga boys, mas shorter ngayon sa mga babae. Okay, kaya ano, kita ano, ayun na lang, wag na lang kayo magtaka kung halimbawa na una kamatay, halimbawa sa mag-asawa na una kamatay ang lalaki, 'di ba? Wag na kayong magtaka. Kaya ano, grievous talaga. I mean, it's already a risk factor. Pagka anak mo pala din kalibutan, maging lalaki ka nga ni, may daka na tinatawag nga it's already the risk, lifespan shortened ka na talaga nga daan. So yun, if you compare, pero inin, 2,800 days life lost. Sige daw, i-compute natin. So for every 1 year, there are 365 days. So more or less, sa inainin. Sige daw, i-compute natin. 2,800. Ano ba inin? 2,800. Ano ba? Cellphone di rin na cooperate. Divided by 365. So, mas soro shorter. Boys, mas soro shorter it aton life sa mga girls. Okay, mas lamang-lamang ang girls ng 7 years. Ganun talaga yan. Kasi kita pinanganak, wow, kita, including me, Bornilio na masasad ka. Ay, kaya ikaw kung pagtaka ka mag-asawa, lalaki yung babae, mas nauna matay itong lalaki. Kada nito libro. Diba? May na risk of lifespan shortening. Kasi diba, sabi nga dito, the lifespan shortening contributes or consequence occupation, diba? At mga lalaki dahil mas mabugat ang trabaho kaysa sa babae, diba? Kay ikaw ba naman? Dahil na yan, sa bagay, dahil na yan, mabugat gad-gad na babae kay, mabugat gad na pag trabaho at babae kay kung naghihimo ng bata, di ba, yun mas naalsa sa lalaki, ng babae, natawa yung Miss Reyes. Okay, di ba, dahil napatong lalaki, dahil mabugat gad na naging babae. Pero, we have to accept the reality nga talaga at mga trabaho, dahil mas mabugat na lalaki. Tapos, ito, mga kalalakinan, may mga bisyo pa, ayun. Tapos ito iba, tagduha pat asawa, ayun kay to konsumisyon nga daan. Tapos at imo pa na asawa, parehas pa kan Justin Tejero, konsumisyado pa pala joke. True sir, true. Ala, ay lang true. Taruan maasawa ni Justin Tejero o ano, mabaysay maging mabaysay maging babae. Sir, loyal po ako. Oo, kaya keep it up. Mao pa ito kung loyal ka. Oo, very good, very good, very good. Pero kapati, waray ka na choice. Ada na talaga iton. So, ano mo lang magiging, imuon nga da is, uy, Tejero, comes down. Nag-react. Kunta babae na laak. Karuyag ko maburod da yun. Uy! Paano? Okay. Actually, yan na ma-appreciate niyo kung maging kung naging babae. May nga tunga ka mga radterang sabi, di mo pa diri kami babae. Kay, alimbawa, kung mga cancer kadamot sakit at babae gyap danay. Pero waray ni tinatawag na we don't establish here gender difference. Yun lang talaga consequence of disease and various conditions. Heart disease, halimbawa na found out nga sa nga pasyente may the heart problem, so mas shorten na niya life versus ang mga tawo nga waray. Adi pa kapate, being unmarried, actually, na gan talaga gyapakinin, naiigo akinin. Affected much ako dito. Wow. Being unmarried. So our lifespan is 2,000 shorter than those who are married. Sige daw, i-compute naton. Mandaw inin kailangan good man kita inin kailangan ngayon kita inin mga asawa. Sige daw, compute naton. So there 2,000 the expected life shortened. So divided by 365. So meaning mas longer ang life by 5.5 years sa mga tao nga nag-asawa versus sa mga tao nga waray nag-asawa. Ang sakit nun. Parang affected much ako dito. Okay, ay la. Susugarong ko iko mag-asawa. Charet. Okay, so kailangan ngayon ano na libro o lifespan shortening. Parang sakit naman nito. Parang tatanggalon ko na lang yung PowerPoint. Okay, ito, 1 pack of cigarette. 1 pack of cigarette. Ay la, i-remind ko ini kuan. I-remind ko ini user Remy. Tinga ni kuan si Alexis magdaraog na sigarilyo. Bornilyo. Ay, i-remind tayo niya. Lifespan shortening is 1,600 days, no? Okay, so working as coal miner, wala naman tayo dyan. Okay, so cancer patient, lifespan shortening is 980. Okay, life lost, or yan. 30 pounds overweight mo, pinala section B, walang mga overweight, pero tikadto na, labagala, tikadto na, So, Adora, tikadto na gyapon, being overweight, pinala kay, tikadto pala. On the way pa lang, on the way. Ano pa? Stroke. Halimbawa, magka-stroke ka, okay. So, expected life loss is 20 days lang. Wala talaga tumpik-tumpik pa. All accidents. Nahulog ka iya. Pun na to dida. 434. Service in Vietnam. To recommend. Nangalibot akong rationale bakit service in Vietnam. Motor vehicle accident. Average occupation accidents. Speed limit from 55 to 65 meter per hour. Radiation worker and airplane crash. So pag halimbawa maka-encounter ka mo in plane crash, parang diri kita maaram kung bubuhion pa kita or diri kita maaram kung magbubuhi pa talaga kita, kaya niya life expectancy or span shortening is only limited to one day. Okay, 1 day lang, until 1 day versus ang mga waray naka-encounter. Yan. So this is the risk of lifespan shortening. So the data presented were compiled by Cohen of the University of Pittsburgh, and where it's extrapolated lang naman yun, guys, from various statistical sources of mortality. So the expected loss of life in days is given a function of occupation, disease, or other condition. So as one can see, kaya nga nag-react dito, maraming nag-react dito, Giancarlo, Kapate, the most grievous risk is being a male rather than female. Whereas the average life shortening caused by occupation accident is only 74 days for radiation worker and life shortened by only 12 days. So radiologic technology, guys, is a safe occupation. Okay, so radiation-induced lifespan shortening is non-specific. That is, no characteristic disease are associated with it and does not include late malignant effects. It occurs simply as accelerated premature aging and death. So one investigator has evaluated the death records of radiologic technologists who operated field X-ray equipment during World War II. These imaging systems were poorly designed and inadequate shielded so that the technologists received higher normal exposure. So 7,000 such radiology technologists have been studied and no radiation effects have been observed. Kaya balikan tayo previous slide, radiologic technology is a safe occupation. Panlayton, it's just a myth nga masugad nga kaya nag-radtech ka, di ka ba maarang na magkaka-cancer ka, di ka ba maarang nga di ka na makakag-anak kung mag-radtech ka. Ulul, damot ak mga kilala nga mga radtech, mga lalaki puro magurang mga anak. So this is a safe profession. Di rila safe kung nagdadamo an anak. So, ayun, kaya wag na kayong mag-try, burnilyo ngayon, magdaraw. Kamo naman la siguro lalaki gadi, nagkatatanggal naman ang iba. So, wag na kayong mag-try, romantikuan. Kama ni Giancarlo, ngayon ni Kapate, mga maninin, mga babayinon maninin. So, wag na kayong mag-try kung nakakabaog ang radiation. Damo ta kilala nga, puro magurang it-anak. Anyway, so sinasabi natin dito, again, kung halimbawa may effect mga radiation, it is just simply as accelerated premature aging. Okay. So, here, tapos naman yun, na-studyhan naman ni Neo or may da naman yung mga documentations. So, radiation-induced malignancy, bakit nagkaroon? Kasi mga mismanaged ng radiation. Leukemia, atomic bomb survivors, pernicious anemia and leukemia among radiologists, cancer for thyroid cancer or for the Ann Arbor series or the Chester series, Rongelap-Ato, bone cancer. Okay, ito mga pinagstudihan na natin mga lahat ng yan. Okay, so let's come to the next and final discussion which is, ba't nawala? Which is all about the radiation and pregnancy. Ang pinakaginulat nga discussion ni Mr. Kapate. Kaya gusto talaga niya magburod. Pwede ka lang magburod. Mr. Kapate, kaong kalahin. Di na ako mag-a-advise. Bayan mo talaga i-follow. Kinukul ba? Bayan ako ba? Ma-name drop pa kini. Kaya bago ni Sir Rongel ba daw? Okay, so radiation and pregnancy. So, ini di man kita tanan na nagbuburod. Makurin mo. Okay, so radiobiology concerns on pregnancy. Okay, before the pregnancy, the concern is uninterrupted fertility. Okay, kaya may kita ito nakasign dida. Caution, pregnant women should not enter. Di ba nakabutang dida? If you are pregnant or suspected to be, please inform the radiologic technologist because the father might be the radiologic technologist. OMG sir, mabuburod na. Kala niya bata. Maram kakapante. Tak makilala. Ini nga klase, pamatik ko. Ini nga klase, BSRT 2B. Ikaw na talaga pinaka-excited magburod. Pamanira kuan, pamanira taringting, talakay, pamatik ko. Diriton gusto mga burod nga da. Era kuan, era kapukyan. Ikaw lugod. Okay. Pero bagaw pa radiation therapy, the ideal, ito na yan, labagala, nag-leave na la sa meeting, kaya anatong ginirostoryan nila about pagburod, nag-leave na la tuloy atong klase. Bagaw pa sa radiation therapy, girls, the ideal age for a woman to get pregnant is 25 years and before 30 years. Kaya pag plano-plano na kamo yan na, oo. Yeah, you heard it right. Na-pressure ni Adora. 25 na ako rin pa ako asawa. Ideal lang yan, idea. Basta before age 30. Kailangan before age 30, makag-asawa ka na. Otherwise, magkakamay na ng different risk. Ano ba, pagkat babae, di rin siya makaasawa ng, or di siya makaanak before age, bumalik nila bagala, before the age 30. So, ada kasi, halimbawa, naliparous woman, okay, she is not a breastfeeding mother before the age of 30. Kasi more of mga gynae cancers, more of hormonal. Iba kasi ito hormones ng babae Yung hormones ng babae kaysa sa lalaki. So, ikaw, Mr. Kapati, waray ka man ada estrogen and progesterone. Hindi ka talaga itong makagburod. Ito yung may da kasi is testosterone. Diba? Dapat ikaw itman buburod. Okay. Payala Kapati, bangin after 5 years makaburod ka na ngayon. Masaya ako, wow, climate change. Sabi magpastinga para matuman ako wish na maburod. Ba daw, may advice makanto kayo ito na ako. Mabuburod ka kung kumato ka Thailand. Magpapa-sex change ka nga dito. But di ba kuan magasto kahin mga more or less million dito sir kay bangin mabug diri man kuan man mga buutan man mga Thai. Damo nito actually Kapati I went to Thailand. Talagang may part dito sa Thailand na talagang showy na talaga dito, nag-holding hands, nag-ano, mga parehas lalaki. Yeah. Anjing katuan kasi namon is Pratunam in Thailand, near Bangkok lang. Yan, mga open talaga na dito. Kasi gyapon sa kuan. Yan, but here in the Philippines, we're not open about that one. But, sir, sponsor, I need your support. Kaya ako pagod. Sige, sponsoran pero kailangan ano muna, drop ka nga di ako, hindi nga ni 5 ang grado sa radiobiology and maintenance. May ayaw na lang ay answer. Okay, sige. Ayaw na lang. Okay, kasama ko yun ni kapatid. Okay, let's talk about radiation and pregnancy. Again, another concerns here. Okay, before pregnancy, kung baka ma-disrupt natin ang fertility. And during pregnancy, the concern is directed to possible congenital effects in newborn. Okay, na-expose ang bata to radiation, so baka okay, congenital effect. Post-pregnancy concerns are related to suspend genetic effects, have been demonstrated in animals, and some have been observed in humans. Genetic. Okay, na-disrupt ang gene formation. Kaya diba, usually after pregnancy, mabalik may tinatawag tayo nga postpartum, yan. Mabalik ang normal nga puerperium, puerperium. Mabalik ang normal nga dapat mabalik ang original composition ng babae. So, deterministic effect on high-level radiation and the interruption of fertility in both men and women does occur, and is radiation dose related. Nasabtan naman natin permanent sterility versus temporary sterility compare ang dose. The effect of low dose long-term irradiation on fertility, however, are less well defined. So low chronic irradiation does not impair fertility. Low dose, dose related. So the first trimester, this is during pregnancy as the most radiation-sensitive period. Kaya nga, ina-advise natin dida, halimbawa, kung burod ang pasyente, especially on the first trimester, first 3 months of pregnancy, ma'am, burod po, opo, direct sigurado kung burod. Direct sigurado, pa-pregnancy test muna before nimo igpa-x-ray. Ma'am, burod po, opo, pero kabulan. Sir, kung palain ni 2 months, direct ka pwede x-ray, ma'am. Okay, again, kay masa kita nga, tiya baby, magiging cyclops or magiging hook. But again, our concern here is, madidisrupt natin ang development ni baby. So we have what we call the period of major organogenesis. So the period of major organogenesis, this is the effects of radiation in utero are time-related and radiation dose-related. They include prenatal death, neonatal death, congenital abnormalities, malignancy induction, general impairment of growth, genetic defects, and mental retardation. So depende, again, dose-related. The higher the dose, of course, the higher or the severe is the effect to the baby. So the first 2 weeks of pregnancy may be of least concern because the response is all or nothing. First 2 weeks. Hindi pa naman nga week ito, hindi rin expect ni mother nga burod siya. So our best estimate is that 100 milligray or 10 rad dose during the first 2 weeks will induce perhaps 0.1 rate of spontaneous abortion. Hambo man statistics. This occurs in addition to 35 to 50% normal incidence of spontaneous abortion. Hindi rin pa ganun ka-related with the radiation. Kasi talagang first 2 weeks of pregnancy is very maselan. Very maselan pa ang bata. Diba nga, diba? If you have watched our webinar on the Baby One More Time fetal imaging, dari man kamo nagkikita kay dari kamo na support. Charet nagtampo. So first 2 weeks of pregnancy, di ba, dari pa ganun siya ka-expected, di ba? I have watched the video, new teaser. I have watched the the testimony ni Miss Joy Enriquez, di ba? According to her story, her mother was there kasi nga in the country, di ba, nag-inom siya in pampalaglag. So, di na siya ini-expect. So, yung iba nga umiinom ng pampakapit para talagang we need to secure na talaga yung bata nandun din nagde-develop. The first 2 weeks of pregnancy, again, nataas talaga ang spontaneous abortion. Not related, not talking about because of radiation. So other factors na sabi natin taas ang incidence ng spontaneous abortion kasi nga 2 weeks masyado pang maselan yung mother para kumapit si baby sa womb. 'Di ba? Heart Evangelista just lost another baby. Sad naman So blighted ovum. Okay, this is the first 2 weeks again. So during the period of major organogenesis from the 2nd through the 12th week, 2 effects may occur. So early in this period, kasi major organogenesis, so the major organ system of the body are developing. That is again from 2 to 12 weeks. Ay, i-compute natin, di ba? There are 4 weeks in every month. So therefore, 3 months talaga masyadong maselan kung ma-expose si mother. Kaya masuad kita, 3 months, X muna magpa-expose to radiation. So early in this period, skeletal and organ abnormalities can be induced as major organogenesis continues. So congenital abnormalities of the central nervous system may be observed if the pregnancy is carried to term. Okay, so if radiation-induced congenital abnormalities are severe enough, so the result will be neonatal death. Okay, so after a dose of 2 gray, taas man liwat. So to the mouse, nearly 100% of fetuses suffered significant abnormalities, and 80% this was sufficient to cause neonatal death. At taas man ini 200 rad. Can cause, kasi di ba nag-expect kita at 100 rad, siya ka pala magkakamay ng effect aton lawas to radiation. So irradiation in utero at the human level has been associated with childhood malignancy by a number of investigators. Perhaps the most complete study of this effect was conducted by Alice Stewart and co-workers in a project known as Oxford Survey, where a study of childhood malignancy in England, Scotland, and Wales dito kanda kapate. Social planning. Okay, so a relative risk, alam naman natin relative risk of 1.5. Okay? Pag sumod kita nga 1.5, di ba, taas ang incidence of the exposed group. For the development of childhood leukemia after irradiation in utero is significant. So this indicates as an increase of 50% over non-irradiated rate. Tama yung ating relative risk computation. So the number of cases involved, however, is small. Okay, so radiation exposure in utero does retard the growth, okay, and development of the newborn. Napupugan kasi natin, di ba, ang development, di ba? So in irradiation in utero, principally during period of major organogenesis or the 2nd to 12 weeks of pregnancy, has been associated with microcephaly. For example, for this one, gutiya yung ulo ni baby. And as discussed, pwede mental retardation. So these effects as well as mental retardation have been observed principally in those receiving doses in excess of 1 gray or 100 rad in utero. Taas man liwat inin. Kaya nga lang, kung mapakian na, okay lang ba ma-expose ang burod? Again, case-to-case basis. Kaya halimbawa, kung need talaga niya, halimbawa, may cancer and pasyente, or halimbawa, may ganito iya case, kailangan ng radiation. Case-to-case basis man ito, no? Okay, so the lack of appropriate and sensitive test of mental function makes it impossible to draw similar conclusions at doses below 1 gray or 100 rad. So ito yung mga pwedeng mangyari sa bata, no? Because of irradiation in utero. So for 0 to 2 weeks, pwedeng mag-conclude tayo ng spontaneous abortion. So natural occurrence, wala pang radiation is 25%. Yung added radiation response is 0.1. Maliit lang naman yung kaso. Sabi nating radiation can cause spontaneous abortion. Okay, so 0 to 2 weeks. 2 to 10 weeks, congenital abnormalities yung pwedeng mangyari because of, but for natural, for natural, walang radiation, that's 5% compared kung lagyan natin ng radiation is additional 1%. So 2 to 15 weeks, mental retardation, so wala pang radiation na na-involve, 6%, no? And additional 0.5% kung may radiation. So 0 to 9 months yung pinag-uusapan na natin dito, from 0 kasi nag-start ka. Okay, so malignant disease, that is 8 out of 10,000 cases. And with the radiation response, 12 over 10,000 cases. Okay, impaired growth and development, that's 100%, none. Okay, 0 to 9 months genetic mutation, 10% for natural response, and radiation response is wala. So the evolution causes the least concern of the four because of all or none effects. Congenital abnormalities, mental retardation, and childhood malignancies are real concern, but it should be recognized that the probability of such response after a fetal dose of 100 milligray or 10 rad is nil. Furthermore, 100 milligray or 10 rad to the fetus very rarely occurs in radiology. So it is possible to during fluoroscopy and CT, not in radiography or not in nuclear medicine. Saang area lang, pwedeng sa CT, pwedeng sa fluoro, pwedeng sa radtera, but impossible for radiography and for nuclear medicine. No? So the form of the dose-response relationship for each of these effects is unknown. However, several appear to be linear and non-threshold when based on the doses greater than 1 gray or 100 rad. When large experimental animal populations were acutely exposed to the minimum reported dose at which such effects were observed as statistically significant was approximately 100 milligray or 10 rad. So no evidence of humans or animals indicate that levels of radiation exposure currently experienced occupationally and medically are responsible for such effects on growth and development. Unfortunately, our weakest area of knowledge in radiation biology is the area of radiation genetics. Makuri kita makag-study on genetics. So essentially all data indicating that radiation causes genetic effects have come from large-scale experiments either from mga langaw or from mga yatot, but walang sa tao. We do not have any data suggest that radiation-induced genetic effects occur in humans. Wala pang study na ma-impair yung mag-iiba ang genetic presentation because of radiation. Wala pang study dyan. So observation of the atomic bomb survivors have shown no radiation-induced genetic effects, and descendants of survivors now into the third generation. Other human populations have likewise provided negative results. Consequently, in the absence of accurate human data, there is no choice but to rely on information from experimental laboratory studies. Okay, so kasi it's already time, di ko na lang ini-discuss nga kan Muller's study. I'm just this one. So additional conclusions regarding radiation genetics. So radiation mutation are usually harmful. But as we said, wala pa namang study na applicable siya sa human. Any dose of radiation, however small, to germ cell results in some genetic risk. So the frequency of radiation-induced mutations is directly proportional to dose, so that linear extrapolation of data obtained at high doses provide a valid estimate low dose effects. Okay. And lastly, the effect depends on radiation protection and fractionation. Okay, for most reproductive life, the woman is less sensitive than the man to genetic effects of radiation. And most radiation-induced mutations are recessive, in which this require that mutant genes must be present in both male and female produce the trait. And consequently, such mutations may not be expressed for many generations. And the frequency of radiation-induced genetic mutations is extremely low. that is approximately 10 raised to 5 mutations per gene or per gray per gene. And that ends our discussion in radiobiology. May estudyante pa ba ako dito? Okay. So thank you so much, guys, and I hope you have learned something from this discussion. So again, next week for the latecomers, I'm going to remind you to just be ready with the online mode of final examination because it's difficult for me to adjust my schedule as I'm dealing for internship program. Okay, before we end our discussion, stop share, stop recording.